December 1946 in the Ginsberg Township of South Africa. My father was a government clerk and law student, while my mother Alice did domestic work in local white homes. I am an ethnic Xhosa, and I was sent to Lovedale High School in 1964, a prominent boarding school in Alice, where my older brother Kaya had previously been studying. I was eventually expelled from Lovedale due to my political activities, and my brother was arrested for his alleged association with the Azanian People's Liberation Army. After my expulsion, I attended and graduated from St. Francis College, a Roman Catholic institution, and I went on to enter medical school. In college, I became increasingly involved in politics, and I joined the multiracial National Union of South African Students. It was during this time that I realized that in apartheid South Africa, white people not only participated in the oppression of black people, but were also the main voices in the opposition to that oppression. I came to believe that by dominating both the apartheid system and the anti-apartheid movement, white South Africans totally controlled the political environment, leaving black people completely marginalized. I decided not to participate in multiracial organizations as they largely focused on issues facing white students. Instead, I became convinced that black, Indian, and colored students needed an organization of their own, so I helped to found the South African Students Organization, whose agenda included political and economic self-reliance. In 1968, I was elected the organization's first president, and the organization evolved into the influential Black Consciousness Movement, an organization devoted to increasing political power for black South Africans. The Black Consciousness Movement sought to teach black South Africans to be proud and culturally independent, which is why I coined the phrase "Black is Beautiful." By embracing ourselves and our culture, I thought that we could decolonize the mind, which would lead to the mental liberation and then political liberation of South Africans. During this time, I embraced socialism, which I believe was the only way to rid South Africa of racial hierarchy and poverty. I refused to negotiate with the apartheid government, and I believe that South Africans should ally with anti-colonial movements around the world. In the early 1970s, I became increasingly involved with trade unions and radical Christians who were willing to fight against the regime. In 1972, I was expelled from the University of Natal and banned by the apartheid government, meaning that I was not allowed to speak to more than one person at a time or to speak in public. I was restricted to the King Williamstown district and could not write publicly or speak with the media. It was forbidden to quote anything I said, including any public speeches or private conversations. In this time, I started a number of grassroots organizations based on a notion of self-reliance, such as the Zanepalo Organization, the Zimele Trust Fund, which helps support former political prisoners, the Najwaxa Leather Works Project, and the Ginsberg Education Fund. In spite of the repression, I played a significant role in organizing the protests that would culminate in the Soweto Uprising of June 1976, in which 20,000 students marched in the streets and 100 students were killed due to police brutality. On the 18th of August 1977, I was arrested at a police roadblock and interrogated by the security police. The 22-hour interrogation included torture and beatings, which were so severe they sent me into a coma. I suffered a major head injury while in police custody and was denied medical help while chained to a window for a day. On September 11, 1977, police loaded me naked and bleeding into the back of a truck for a 600-mile drive to the nearest prison with hospital facilities. The next day, I died at the Pretoria prison. Police said that my death was the result of an extended hunger strike, but an autopsy revealed that multiple bruises and abrasions were found, and that I actually succumbed to a brain hemorrhage from massive head injuries inflicted by the police. The police who tortured me were investigated but never found guilty by the apartheid government. It was only at the end of apartheid that the Truth and Reconciliation Commission found that 5 policemen had confessed to killing me, but they were not prosecuted as the statute of limitations had run out.